Righto, guys, we're back for attempt two, and we thought we'd just restart it. Everything fell apart. Basically, everything blew up. So we've recovered everything, put the fires out, and it does look like we should be able to recover Andy. He does exist, and he's actually possibly here. Let me see if we can magic him up onto the screen in a few moments. But just for those who are watching this later on and not who weren't on the last live stream, little thanks to Projectile Warehouse with the code ID Live 5, number 5, ID LIVE, number 5, will get you 5% off at Projectile Warehouse. Now, we are getting Andy up on here. I'm just going to bring him through this. That was really odd and very unusual. Andy, I think we are nearly there with you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right, yourself?
Yes, good. Oh, we do have you there. Fantastic, mate. Fantastic.
How's the audio going?
Oh, yeah, it's good enough, mate. It's good enough for what we need it. I think nothing's quite perfect in this way of doing things. When people don't have any particular setup. But hey, look, we can even be in the position where we're both on the same screen at the same time. So this is good. This is good. Hey, just to recap a couple of questions that were asked before.
What are you?
Yeah, I'm going to be hiding down there, but not on the real broadcast. So if I like that you're playing around with it so much, it's great. Anyway, a couple of questions before we did have that obviously won't matter to those who watch the live one, but I was asked if the SSAA ranges in SA are shut down, and yes, but not just SSAA. All the ranges in SA have been shut down. So that is the key at the moment. And I suspect that is nearly the case all around the country to some degree. I know there's a few ranges that are still able to be open, but they have had to cancel all official club activities. But anyway, on a happier note, maybe it's time to go hunting out bush somewhere. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all right. So Andy, how are you? And going all right?
Yeah, I'm going pretty well. Work's starting to change their way of doing things a little bit at the moment.
Of course.
But, still ticking along like pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. It's good to see. It's good to see. I see your rifle was sitting there right next to you. Is there anything happening with that recently? What's going on there?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I thought, Butter's got to have his out, so I wanted to, mine out, and then, we sort of...
Yeah, just showing off a little bit. Yeah, good. I maybe sometime next week I'll get my gun out and stick it behind us, and then we can all have our guns showing off. So, yes. Now a couple of guys. It's great to see some guys in the chat who have been here fairly regularly to actually start chatting with each other, which is awesome. That's even better. Nick, so you're having a beverage. What are you having, Nick? So let us know. Keep us informed. We need to know the important things. I'm having a Rover tonight. Andy, are you having a beverage at all?
Corona's still. I bought it, so I got to get them down.
Seems appropriate. Very good, mate. And big news is at the moment we can't really do the podcast in the same format that we were doing it in.
No, it seems to be.
Yeah,
like this.
that's the way it is. So we, obviously normally with the Precision Shooting podcast, we all get together and sit around the room and chat and do all that sort of thing, and we can't do that. So we. Here we are. This is probably as close as we get. So we'll let all our patron supporters and all our listeners know shortly. In fact, what we probably will start doing is recording the audio from this and making maybe a separate stream, but we might put one up there to let everyone know that we're doing this show, because no doubt our listeners on the Precision Shooting podcast are all in the same position, and they perhaps haven't found this stream at this stage, although it's getting a few numbers after hours, which is fantastic. So carry on. Guys, I really appreciate it. If you are watching or you do enjoy it or anything on those lines, share it out, pass it around, because it'd be great to have a few more people kicking
I've
around.
just set up the chat so I can see what's going on there.
Oh,
and,
now you're
someone
yep.
sucking on the phone.
You do get harassed in the chat, which is like in a good way. I believe the harassment is done in love, but you do get harassed, which is great.
That's it. I'm open for harassment all the time, so just take it.
No different for you, mate.
Yeah.
Well, we are on the eve of the practice day for what was the Burruss Cold Steel Open.
Yes.
I imagine you would have probably been either on your way up there or something on those lines by Thursday night. I would have been there for a night.
Yeah. If it was going ahead, I would have been busy reloading tonight, and then working half day tomorrow, and then cruising up in the afternoon, and with a semi-reasonable load, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And it would have been great to have you back. Tell us a little bit about your season last year, because last year was your first season, and you went all right. Tell us a bit of information about it.
Yeah, I did go all right. Obviously, prior to that, I was playing around in the 22 rimfire sort of stuff. So last year was the first Centerfire PRS, series I did. Surprisingly did better than I had expected, but I won't turn that down at all. It was great fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just picked up so many more skills and things that I didn't even realise that I needed to know. So that was pretty cool. So I did reasonably well throughout the series. It just so happened to when we came to the finals, I had other commitments.
You choked.
Yeah, a bit of that. Yeah, wasn't right. It wasn't really right in the right headspace, and I choked a bit, and just didn't pull it together for that weekend.
Yeah, that's all right. Not to worry. And so, what has the last few months looked like for you since the finale? You've been practicing, you've been ignoring it. What's been happening?
I've been well. I mean, I've re-looked at it and I've gone, all right, I'm going to get into it again this year. Practice more, train harder. Really step up my game. And I did that for a little bit to start with, and now that everything's happened here, I've gone, well, you know what? I might just buy some beer and some ice cream and just kick back and do
more. Good. So training is going well then? Yeah,
training's going really well. This year will be the year of possibly purchasing a lot of stuff I don't need, and then just get into it again. So.
Very good, mate. And so when you were back and you said you were sort of a bit focused for a while there when you were leading up to it, what were you doing?
What was I doing? I probably was just trying to soak up as much information as possible. So back then I was really hammering all the YouTube clips, all the forums, all of the tips and tricks of wind reading, loading, that sort of stuff. Going down that sort of rabbit hole of information, and then just trying to apply that throughout the year, and also, after each match and after each club event, sort of go back with that list and just work on, those bits and pieces. So that was last year's sort of goal, I guess, just to absorb as much stuff as I could to, step up my game for this year.
And obviously you hadn't been able to work out, but did you feel that things were improving? Were you getting better?
Yeah. I feel as if I was definitely getting better, more confident with my setup, more trust in my rifle and my data, and how I would approach stages. I remember when I first started out with some of the stages, you'd get into a position and you'd be like, that's not right, move. That's not comfortable either, move. And now it's sort of, you look at an obstacle or a barricade and you go, I know what I need to do there to get comfortable first time straight up, and
Yep.
So it's just that bit of confidence building, bit of core fundamentals, sort of focusing back on that a little bit.
Yeah, brilliant. Good stuff. Now, all right, let's check in with the chat. We always have some interesting things. Let's see what we're doing there.
Honestly, because I was sort of loading as well at the moment. I've got Mrs. working late at night in the hospital, so I'd crack out a bit of loading.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll get to that. Some interesting questions there. There is some talk about the man bun, the long hair.
Yes.
Take the hat off. Let's see what you got going on, mate, because you've been
At the
known
moment,
for having quite.
I was planning on the man bun's gone. I was planning on getting a haircut pretty soon because it's just getting annoying again with that length in the face.
I know about that.
Yeah, that's pretty frustrating.
That's why I'm always wearing a hat. Now,
hairdresser's closed soon. I might be up for a shave. Might be up for a
take it all off. Yeah, good stuff. Nice. If you shave the sides like that, then you got a mohawk, and that's what I'm cranking at the moment. And then just spike it. Anyway, right, back on to gun stuff.
Yes, breed for that. Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, now you've got your gun there. Grab it. Take us through it. What are you running? What are you doing?
All right. Well, yeah. So I grabbed this TACO one, like Dave Acker is running as well.
Yep.
And really haven't got any complaints with it. Well, the light's a bit dark there, isn't it? But I decided to pull it apart and give it a spray paint because these things make you better. So I did that.
Performance improving.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, so factory TACO one. I've got a Bushnell XRS scope on the top of it. This is one of the really big turret knobs, and it's got a H59 reticle in it. On the side of it, it's got a Vortex. Which one's that? Vortex little red dot Venom red dot.
Yep.
And that helps me out just with finding those targets a bit quicker. Once you get down, you line up that red dot and it's pretty well on.
So Nick has a question on that one. Why is your red dot on the left side when most right-handed shooters put it on the right side?
Put it on the right side? Well, because ideally, I'd like that red dot sticking straight out the side so I can just use my left eye.
Yep.
And
that's more for finding a target than it is for finding than for shooting with, more so.
Yeah, I mean, I can knock a gong at 200, so it's zeroed pretty well for 200 if you can see the target behind the dot. But more for finding that target quickly. If you know where it is roughly in the field, just line up the dot, then look through the scope, and you're on.
Okay, very good. And you look like you got some bits and pieces hanging on that thing. Show us through them. Yes.
So on the front here, I've got a barricade stock that is made specifically for the TACO ones from Sean at STS Targets.
Yeah, little shout out to Sean at STS. He makes some. I've seen those, been sort of following the development of them. They're a pretty cool piece of kit. Yeah, if you own a TACO one, they don't fit really on anything else, do they? They're
profile cut out to match this.
Yep.
Match the chassis, I guess. And he's recently come out with an extension bit up the front here, which matches up perfectly. So that bipod can be slid straight down.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Nice.
So that's not too bad. And on the back of my MDT SkyPod here. Show you real quick.
Yep.
I sort of played around with making a wedge shape. So on barricades, you can sort of wedge it up. And it does work well with the barricade stock from Sean. Because it sort of works similar to, put it on, wedges on, and it's pretty solid. But that's just something I'm toying around with at the moment. See how that goes.
Yeah.
But,
Good stuff. You got any weights or anything on there?
Sorry?
Are you running any weights on that?
Oh, yeah. It is a heavy gun to start with. I find it's quite rear heavy. So on the front here, I've got 2 MDT weights.
I have the same. Personally, I have the same problem, but nothing to do with guns.
Yeah, have another drink, mate.
That's all I can do, mate. That's all I can do.
So, a couple of MDT weights up the front there, just to help. Ideally, when I'm up for a barrel swap, I'll just get a heavier profile barrel to sort of help out with that weight. And then, I guess at the end there, I've got a fat sort of tank muzzle brake.
It's massive.
Which I got off eBay, and it works really well.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, if it works, it's all we can ask for, mate. Yeah, very good. Nice setup. And are you gonna you ran production last year, moving to open this year, whenever the next season is, we'll say.
That's it.
Are you planning on doing lots of changes to your gun, or is this pretty much ready to roll for a new season?
Yeah, so from production, the only things I sort of felt like I needed to swap out was the trigger. Mm-hmm. So I've now got a Timney trigger in there.
Yep.
Eventually the barrel, and hopefully some better glass. And that were really the only things I felt as if were necessary to change out. So when I started production, I wanted a platform that I could build with. So I got ice cream container full of brass here. So
you do seem to like having ice cream containers around your reloading room.
Do you know how practical these things are? Like ice cream container. Get 'em.
Yeah. So now I mean, so what you were saying when you were going to just buy beer and ice cream and sit at home is that you're actually working towards reloading.
Well, I mean, slowly. You got to eat the ice cream first and then put the brass in. So
careful, mate. You might need some more weights at the front to balance out.
yeah, probably will.
Oh well,
so.
very, very good, mate. Very good. And we've got some other questions. Been recommended to get the Vortex Razor HD scope, Gen 2, hopefully. CTR magazine. Is that what you're running?
Yes, CTR magazine. I recently just bought a third one, so I've got a spare. Because I felt as if, even though I had 2 originally, I had 2 magazine holsters for them.
Yep.
Obviously, when you're running a stage, one of those holsters is empty. So I thought, I better get a spare one just in case, stuff happens to a mag.
Can't allow it to be empty.
No, that's it. That's like a disadvantage right away.
And there is the occasional stage where you do need another magazine. So I like 3 magazines is a very useful amount of magazines. Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you been doing much shooting this year? I mean, we did shoot a competition earlier together, but have you done any non-competition shooting this year at all? Any hunting or anything like that?
No. I would I'd love to get out again soon. Hopefully we'll be in the middle of a paddock, like fully self-isolated, out in the fresh air. So it would be great to get out again. I have been playing a little bit with some dry fire, but it's not the same.
Okay. Yeah, still dry fire's. I guess dry fire's great when you're focused and you've got a goal, but sometimes it can be hard to have a goal when there's not a lot going on. I can appreciate that. Yeah, range is shut and all that sort of thing. But anyway, we can at least talk about shooting. If nothing else, we can talk about it.
That's it. Yeah. Well, maybe we could run some stages over video and just time people, and they'll be like dry fire and be like, yeah, impact. And
you just got to be really honest as to whether you think you hit it or not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
We have we certainly have some ideas planned for competitions, which segues great into our current competition, which is the. I have got a photo that I was going to prep for tonight, and I didn't quite get there. I don't think I'm going to find it quick enough. But the competition that's going on at the moment. Sorry, I'm not looking at you or the camera. I'm trying to find something.
That's right.
The competition that was running at the moment is we wanted to see what position you were hoping would not be at the Burris Cold Steel Open. And so we've had a couple in, which is exciting. But I have.
I was thinking about that today,
Well,
and
you need to get onto it. I suspect that this weekend, when guys, crew aren't working so much, I think perhaps we will see a few more entries this weekend. I'm trying to find the photo of the weirdest shooting position I've ever acquired. I don't think I'm going to find it quick enough. You may have seen it. Some of you guys watching may be familiar with one. It did go somewhat viral back in the day, which was upside down, looking through the gun, back around like in a C shape type thing. It was not pleasant. So that's the case. Anyway, so Andy, I expect an entry from you sometime soon. This weekend would be wonderful to see that. And I think either Sunday or in the Monday show we're going to elect a winner. But anyway, the reason I got drawn onto that was that there is going to be another competition next week, and we've got a few other plans in store for some some film yourself stuff or bits and pieces. So. Yeah, all right. Some questions. Check in some questions.
Yeah, it's happening in the comment board.
Beth has asked, how much ammo would you bring to a match to make sure you are prepared? Do you want to talk about the different levels of matches and how many you would bring to the various things?
Yeah, look, you're better looking at it than looking for it. So whatever you think it is, double it.
That's a good slogan. You're better looking at it than looking for it. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, that's what I take at work. Being a Sparky, you better not run out of cable when you're doing a long cable run. So, now, so for the small club events, we'll probably be looking at 50 to 60 rounds. Mm-hmm. I think for a 1 day or half day sort of club event.
Yep.
I think what was the running gun? Was that about 90 or 100?
I think the round count was 90-ish. Yeah. You often will find that there is a round count put out there, with however many rounds is meant to be done. But those numbers are calculated on if you get every round off, but you also hit every target on the first shot. So when you've got the opportunity where it's like a hit to move, where you could shoot 2 or 3 rounds at a target before you hit it, versus one of the ones where you got 10 rounds and that's all you've got for the stage. So there is a little bit of, like, if it's a 90 round match, it's probably good to have 110, 120. Whereas the big matches, I'll let you, they might say about 180 rounds for the round count. But what would you take to those?
I reckon if it had about 180 round count, I'd take about 250. If I was going on the practice day, so I could let off a good 30 rounds during the practice day, sort that out, and then have plenty there for a bit of backup. Yeah,
because if you're in a position you need to or want to reshoot a stage, you're able to. You want to have 10 or 12 for that to happen once or maybe twice. And you won't necessarily get all the rounds off either. Particularly if you're slowing down and you're taking time on your shots, so you won't necessarily get them all off. But you're better to bring it home because ammo is not going to go off, and you're probably going to use it again shortly. So you better have it than not need it.
It could easily happen where you just spit out a couple of rounds on the dirt, and you might not want to run them through your gun if that's the case. So you do definitely need a few backup, but not ridiculous amount. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, on to some other questions. Conservative Sniper Hunter, when and where is the next PRS match? Who knows? at the moment. So the one this weekend was it was the Burruss Cold Steel Open, which is obviously not going ahead. The Kestrel Monado Meltdown is being postponed as well, so not going ahead. The next one after that is the Battle of Bigoton, up in Bigoton. That's at the end of May. That is unknown. PRS, we will announce at the end of April an update, and the update literally, I mean, I could guess what it is now, but I have honestly no idea, because as you guys, if you guys are watching the news or familiar, things are changing daily, and so it is difficult to predict when anything would return. So at this stage, not sure. After that, it'll be the Ignition Custom Winter Classic in Buchan. Unsure. Again, that's July. Hopefully. Yeah, absolutely. Still got my accommodation booked for it, so I'm fingers crossed it's going ahead. And then Darwin in August again. Yeah, and we will have to literally wait and see. As soon as we get some sort of information that range is going to open back up and we can have the ability to have it's safe to have events of up to 100 people, we will be on. I think what you'll find is that the first match may have a fairly short lead time. If there's already established dates, we may, it's only 4 weeks out. Normally we try and give like 8, 9, 10 weeks prior. But if there's 4 weeks out, I suspect if everyone's been holed up in home and they get 2 weeks notice of a match, I think most people will do their absolute best to get there. So, travel restrictions pending and all that sort of gear. So, we will, as soon as we know something, we'll keep people updated, but there won't be any further information from PRS until the 30th of April at this stage. So, anyway, sorry to take over your show, Andy.
No.
That question was asked. Another question is factory ammo, or do you load your own? What are you doing?
So I do load my own ammo. I'm currently somewhat halfway through doing tonight's batch. So 65 Creedmoor with Hornady Brass, running a 140 grain ELDM bullet, with 44 grains of AR 2209, I think it is.
Okay.
So
cool.
They're a bit on the hot side, but they're going quick. Yeah.
Nice. I have been using factory ammo of late. Because I've been running 223, and I can get 69 grain from OSA / outdoor. It's made by ADI is the point, and that has been really good, really consistent, well priced, and seems to shoot good enough. I miss mostly because of me, not because of the ammo. So that has been good. But of course, once the GT brass is around, or once I get a chance to get back out to the ranges, and we got some time with some GT brass, and I've got all the bits and pieces I need to make everything happening, then I'll be running the GT and be reloading for that when that time comes. So we'll bring that on the show sometime next week, I'm sure. I'm sure there's some people who haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, I definitely I think if you're starting out, definitely there's a couple of options there of getting bulk ammo now in 6.5 Creedmoor and other things. And that way, you can run factory for a little bit, and then you get your brass. You keep your brass from that, and then you're halfway there pretty much. It's not a bad option. And I buy factory ammo for my 223 as well. So I found that that the price for 223 ammo is reasonable enough that I can't justify spending the time reloading 223.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent, mate. Very good. Hey, now I've known you for quite a while. Surprisingly, how long it's been. But you were very much a hunter from years ago. That was your thing. You kicked off with a 270. How did you get into shooting? Have you always shot? So
I got into shooting from just pretty much friends of friends and things like that. So I was very much in the camping outdoors sort of stuff to start with. Got to know a few people that went out hunting, went out a few times with them, quite a lot of times. Often holding the spotlight and doing all the boring stuff, but still loved it. And then I guess that led me into getting my own firearms license, own firearms, and my first rifle was a 22 rimfire, and then a 270. That was a pretty reasonable jump, and I learned a lot of things by doing that. And it's expensive trying to learn a centerfire 270. You can punch a fair bit of money down range doing that. So so obviously hunting with my 270, it was great fun. Enjoyed it. Did a lot of spotlighting mainly, and then a little bit of walk around during the day, but not a whole lot of full camo stalking sort of stuff. I'm a bit lazy for that. I tried to get I sort of focused on accuracy a little bit. Having the 270 and stuff sort of took me down I need to get the best accuracy I can and try and push those distances so I know I can do well if I need to, shoot something at a few hundred meters. So, obviously that took me. Oh, nice drink there.
Just having a sniff.
From there, I started looking around heaps at clubs and places to shoot regularly, and then that sort of led me into I found this 22 rimfire challenge stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Really good fun, and then that led me into the club at Minato, and then PRS. It was sort of started with hunting and took off from there.
Do you still get out and hunt very often, or is it not being able to do it quite so much?
I haven't been able to go out quite so much lately. Not because I don't know, it is a little bit of a time thing. I do spend a lot of time PRS at the moment.
Yep.
And the other thing too, it's one of those hunter sort of code things, I guess, is a lot of the properties I used to hunt on were contacts of friends. So
yes,
you go out and hunt on properties, you'd either have to be invited or you spoke to your friend and get keen to organise a trip and that sort of thing. So and that's sort of like a rule, I guess, between hunters. You don't want to poach other people contacts and things like that. So I should definitely do that again, and I'm sure people would like to go shooting with me. So
so just if you're watching and you want to go out hunting when everything is recovered and back on deck, and Andy's your man.
Yeah.
And this guy right here, check him out.
I don't have the contacts, but I'll come to yours. So but I have noticed, obviously, when I do go out hunting, it's probably once every 6 months now. But when I do go out, just having the skills from PRS, I'm able to take much more confident shots a lot quicker as well, and that helps a lot more. So, it's good.
Good stuff, mate. Yeah, it's. I hear that story a lot, and certainly have experienced as well that you get out there spotlighting more. For me, that's more what I've done and what I really enjoy. Yeah. You just this is a different level to when back in the day when we just we're just hacks and just trying to do what we could do. You become a lot more proficient at it. So it's exciting change, exciting development. And you see, it's funny, you get guys go, we get guys up to the club fairly regularly, and they'll come up and they're like, I just want to come up and shoot. Can I do that? I just want to sort my stuff in and check stuff out. I don't want to shoot any competitions or any of that rubbish. Okay, no worries, man. You can sit on the side, even if we're running a comp, you can just sit there and shoot and do your thing. That's fine. You might have to shift a bench over to allow the room for the comp, but that's about it. Anyway, they do that. And they will sit down, they will shoot, and we're like, oh yeah, mate, do you want to have a crack on the comp? No, not interested in the comp at all. not at all. Okay, no problems. Well, we're going to be over there and doing our thing. About 20 minutes, half an hour later, they wander over. Like, so tell me about this competition. This looks quite interesting, quite good, because we're not just sitting down, just shooting paper or whatever. And so, and then usually they're like, oh, wow. So what do I have to do to do this? And you're like, just rock up next time and away you go. All right, no worries, I'll be here. And then the next time around they are there and having a crack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's for any hunters out there who do want to get better hunting, I guess, well, taking shots quickly in a awkward position under pressure, there's probably nothing that is better. Like, yeah, being able to jump into a position, oh, there's a target at this range and shoot it. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to if we're out spotlighting or even walking around and you saw something and you go, I need to settle in, take a shot off of a fence post, and I'm guessing the distance is roughly this.
Yep.
Yeah, it just boosts your confidence heaps, even with wind calls and things like that. Like, I've noticed it just, it does help a lot.
Yeah, immensely. Nick asked, has your distance in hunting increased?
Yes. Yep. So as I'm more confident taking shots at 500 meters and things like that, yeah, it's definitely increased. So previously, and trust in the rifle system and my load and things like that. So back when I was running the 270, I would have said 200 meters is like absolute, like I'm zeroed for 150, 200 meters, I just a little bit higher. That's me sorted. And now with obviously the ballistic apps and the Kestrels and things we have now, like I was up in the Flinders and well, obviously back at the range, knowing I can constantly hit a 500 meter target that's roughly 8 inches, 10 inches.
Yeah.
You're out in a hunting scenario and you see something at 400 meters or 500 meters and you've got your Kestrel and you're like, yep, I'm confident in this shot. You've got time to go prone, relax, get stable. Yeah, for me, those shots were not a big deal, and I was making those shots. I think my furthest confirmed hit, I think 670 meters or something like that, and nice. That was a first round impact, and I was stoked with that.
Yeah, fantastic, man.
Yeah, I was sleeping.
Sorry, I missed that last bit.
What was that?
Oh, we missed that last bit. It dropped out.
Oh, what is this?
No, you said you were stoked with it, and it was.
What was the last?
Oh, like, literally like anyway, it doesn't matter now. I'm sure it's hilarious. So we'll laugh. There you go. It was great. Fantastic. Good job. All right. There's a few questions coming through as well, which is awesome. Elizabeth Manuel says that you can join her only if you can skin deer quicker than she can. So how's your skinning abilities?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty good YouTube clips using a tennis ball and a car winch.
I have seen those ones as well. Okay, very good. So the jury's out still on that. Lilac Tortoise asks, is it a rung what you brung setup? Now, I'm guessing you're talking about the competitions. So rung what you brung, I guess has different connotations within a PRS match. But if you're meaning just whatever you've got, shoot with it. Yeah, absolutely. If you rock up, this is at the club level, especially if you've got a 223, you've got a 243, you're a hunting gun or whatever. Absolutely, just jump in, have a crack, and away you go. Run what you brung within a PRS match means that everything that you brought to the match, bag, this, tripod, everything, you have to run that stage with all of that kit. So same words, different meaning, different the context, but very much so. Just get stuck into it. Anything to add to that, Andy?
No, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think the majority of people will have definitely like for the actual day, they won't be rolling around carts full of like all their, like every bits and pieces and spare parts and things like that.
Yeah.
for the most part, I think it would just be like a backpack with your necessities, and a bit like your ammo, obviously, and a bit of water, and your bags, and attachments and things like that. But unless a stage specifically says you have to use, you choose the items you need to use, and you need to run those items throughout the stage.
Yeah.
Then it's not really, But, if that makes sense, yeah.
For sure. Another question there. Did you use a laser rangefinder for the long shot?
Yeah. So for that long shot, obviously, when you start talking 500 meters or so, this was up in the Flinders. It was it was 670 up in the Flinders. It was hillside to hillside across a valley. So I had plenty of time. They were just grazing away. Plenty of time to lie down, get comfortable, use the rangefinder, the Kestrel, and then made sure I had my mate who was spotting, had a good, comfortable shooting position, and at those sorts of distances, it's not so much a rush sort of thing. You can take your time to make sure it's a good shot. So
well and truly. One of the things we used to do with our like longest recorded shot with an individual gun is we would actually paint on the side of it. In fact, I've still got the stuff we used to use. So we'd have Posca pens, right?
Oh yeah.
This was part of the hunting kit. Probably still is, really. And then one of these bad boys.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
So, I mean, we were legit. And there was a couple of reasons we do this. But so you'd be able to put the number over and actually draw in, paint, the number of the distance that your longest shot was, or longest kill was, with that particular rifle. And the big reason for it was that the story couldn't change as your memory got worse and worse, because probably all guilty of this. You're like, no, it was 660 meters. Yeah. And then, like a month or two goes by, 670, I think. It was maybe it was 676, or there was a couple of sixes. And then by the time you've told the story for, 3 years, you've shot 4.5 kilometers. So we would paint it on the gun so you would not forget what your record was with that particular rifle, and there was it was a cool thing to go for. You weren't always trying to break that, but you knew what you were capable. It was a bit of a confidence inspiring, the fact that, hey, I've been able to achieve that previously with this gun, so make an assessment on the conditions, but it's capable. We can make this thing happen. So that was just one of the little things that we used to do from time to time when we went, and that was more so on a dedicated long range hunting trip. Which worked well. All right. There's a couple of questions in here, Andy, about shooting bags. So I've got a question about what brand shooting bags do you use, and if you could only use one bag, what's your go-to bag usually? So what do you? I would be guessing that you will use a selection of bags.
Yes. Yeah. So I've got 2 bags mainly.
Have you got them close by? No.
What's that?
Have you got them close by?
Oh, they're in the shed.
Oh, okay. So,
can run and grab them.
All good. So is mine.
One is a pump pillow, roughly, your normal sort of pump pillow size. I think that was from Low Vis Gear. And I also have got a pint-sized Game Changer from Low Vis as well. So, for those 2 bags. Oh, sorry, and I do have a third one. It's the first one I bought, which is a really small, just little rear bag.
Okay.
It's a bit more dense. I first started with that one when I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to get. So I've got this tiny little one, a pint-sized Game Changer, and then a pump pillow. I think they're the ones that I use. Yeah.
I was I'm trying to work out this system that I can make, like grab an image and put it up really quickly, and I'm just not quite that good at it yet. So I was trying to show pump pillow and pint size, and I'm just not going all right. So we will get there. I'll get better at all that one day. What's your main bag?
What's that? I can run off and grab them if you like.
No, all good, mate. No big deal.
So the one that I would grab would be the pint-sized Game Changer. Because it's that smaller shape, I can use it for a rear bag as well as a front bag positional, like, you know what I mean, front support sort of bag. Yeah.
Very good. All right. So yes, Lilac Tortoise, you are correct. It is tougher to get the distance numbers spotlighting, and I wouldn't really recommend pushing too far with spotlighting as well, because there's all sorts of challenges comes in when it's dark and you can't see what's going on behind, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, agreed. Sorry.
Definitely tricky to gauge distance at night time. Yeah.
Yep. Have you guys seen the latest Garmin wrist-worn ballistics app? Now, I don't know if it's the latest one. A couple of years ago, I got to wear one for a weekend and play with it. I honestly haven't kept up with Garmin as to whether or not that's the latest one. So have you got a model number or something like that? I might be able to work out if it was. But anyway, I wore it for a weekend at a show and play with data and did all that sort of thing. I found it pretty useful. I'm not super familiar with like a wrist-worn GPS, so perhaps I was not so great at checking out those features. The data seemed accurate and was consistent. It was an applied ballistics base on it, and that's what I was using at the time for my data. So I just transposed everything across, and it was fine. Not sure. I think I said at the time, it was on the podcast we were talking about it, and I think I said at the time that if it's the type of thing that you would be using that if you were out hunting and in the right circumstances, that perhaps could be a really good option. But it wasn't really the style of hunting I did a whole heap of, and it wasn't significantly beneficial to me over like a phone, which has more benefits as far as I'm concerned for the stuff that I do. I don't know if there's a newer model. Perhaps they've fixed with few of the things it was just hard to get into, or a few too many sub menus down. But I mean, what are you going to do with that? It's always challenging. Some options to customize how that laid out would have been really useful. Right. Well, we're probably around meme time, mate. We have enjoyed the memes that have been coming out recently. Now, you sent me a few memes. Now, we usually only play 3 on the show, so I've picked 3. I'm trying to think. I reckon there was one that was really harsh, so I may have dropped that one. I can't actually remember which memes we went with. But I imagine you know the memes, so I won't send them to you because you sent them to me. Let's bring them up here. And see which ones we've got. All right, meme number 1. Oh, this is a good one. This is the llama one. This is social distancing. Keep one llama of space between you and others. Useful to know.
If everyone has got a llama at home, you should know.
Exactly right. All right, good. Yeah, we probably should start rating these. What do you rate that one as?
Yeah. I'll rate all of mine 10 out of 10. So
we'll rate all yours 10 out of 10. Social distancing, keep one llama of space between you and others. It's okay. It's 4. I think 4. All right. Anyway, if you're in the chat, rate this meme as well. This is a 4 for me. You guys can tell me what you think yours is. All right. Anyway,
there was no picture that came up.
Yeah, it's up. Nick just needs to be patient. That's all.
Oh.
All right. Meme 2 is the Game of Thrones Corona edition.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All stacked around the throne. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I'm not schooled up enough to maybe rate this one, so it's a 2 from me. I haven't got context. I mean, you're allowed to rate it. You're allowed to rate it. Give us. I mean, you're going 10. That's right. You're going 10. It'd be interesting to see what the Nick's rating these out of llamas. So I'll give this 2 llamas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 3.
Just on that Game of Thrones ones, it would suck if you were a sprayer, because like. Just ruin them all, wouldn't you?
Well, you've just taken the edge off, but this is let me just tidy up how this has come through. But this is the Ron Burgundy meme. This is I like this one. I like this one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a big deal, but the government class me as essential. I think 7.5 llamas for this one. You were nervous. You were nervous about what number I was going to give that. You're all like, I wonder what he's going to vote. 7.5 llamas. That's it. 7.5 llamas.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah.
I thought that was that's a good meme. That's a great meme. What I'm doing is I'm leaving room for amazing, like, super, you can't. I mean, I can't just go to 10 because then where do we go from there? We can't go anywhere from 10. Then we have to go. These don't go to 11, Andy. These don't go to 11.
Well,
good.
It's up to interpretation.
Good job on the memes. Good job. Well done. I'm curious to see what the ratings are. Oh, Nick's gone with seven llamas for the Ron Burgundy. No one rated the Game of Thrones meme, just so you know.
No.
I feel very validated in my guess about that. Fantastic. There's a YouTube video the other day about the ballistics apps, the Kestrel and the Garmin. Oh, that'd be cool to watch. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see. What was the results? I mean, can you spoil it for us? Can you tell us, like, were they balanced? Were they good? Be interesting to see. Anyway, that will be fantastic, mate. What have you got? Any? I mean, no big plans for the weekend. I imagine it's just nice and quiet. And you're reloading. You're probably reloading this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, I better do a bit of that just to remain hopeful that I might use them coming soon.
You'll get to eventually, absolutely. Hey, I saw you had your press there before, your recent purchase of a press. Do you want to give us like a live review of the press?
All right, yeah. So I guess we were talking about my recent press purchase. It was a few weeks back, wasn't it?
Yeah. What is tell everyone who's watching what it is.
Yeah, so Frankfurt Arsenal, ended up getting Frankfurt Arsenal, it's called the M-Press, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like it. I needed something to, as you can see, I'm at just a more table, like office. So I wanted something that was completely off of, well, nothing hanging down to touch my knees and legs on. Essentially, free floating sort of die setup / brass setup, and something that was nice and heavy and sturdy and had a good amount of leverage. So it seems to be working pretty well for me. I'm getting quite consistent results with bumping the neck back or the shoulder back and seating bullets. So yeah, no complaints. I've got my old press that I use for decapping the primers, so I'm trying to keep this one nice and clean and no sort of foreign crap hanging around it.
Nice. And there's LED lights on it. They standard?
Yeah, LED light is standard. So there's just a little button at the top there. That obviously goes back with a lead and plugs into power. Either your laptop. I've got it plugged into my laptop at the moment, or it comes with a wall mount thing. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
nice. And
it's right.
That's pretty similar. It's sort of based on the Forster, isn't it? In some ways.
Yeah. So it's very similar, I guess, with its design. The only sort of difference I can gather with the Forester is it had its that primer tube that dropped down into the cup underneath, and I could definitely see myself wheeling past on the rolly chair and just smashing that off. So,
yeah, I will not confirm nor deny that has happened to me.
Yeah. So that was one of the major sort of points for myself. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice, man. Yeah. Nice. So happy, and it's working well. And have you? Oh, we did this on the show. We ran the concentricity gauge on it. You don't have a concentricity gauge, do you? You haven't been able to check ammo since. No,
I just roll brass along a table and go, yeah, that looks straight.
Oh well, and you won some matches last year in production doing so. So well done with your rolling table scenario. Good job. It's a good way to do it. Oh, very good, mate. Very good. And so, what
must
is
be a good
next? Sorry,
I guess.
carry
So
on.
I must be a good shooter or something if my ammo is crap.
All right, let's not go too crazy. Good. All right, we've got another quick question there. Oh, that's a big question, Nick. We'll go quick. What dies do you use?
I've got the Reading Deluxe die set. Just your standard 6.5 Creed, no bushing or anything like that. So, nothing special there.
All right, Nick would like you to walk him through your reloading flow process. I don't know what reloading flow is, but it sounds great. Can't wait for it. Oh, you've got a list. So you're prepared for it.
Here are two lists.
Okay.
One was for my old brass, and one was for new brass.
Yep.
So obviously, new or old, clean them. I've got a stainless steel media tumbler, stainless steel pin wet wash tumbler thing.
Yep.
And obviously, when you take that out, rinse them off and check there are no pins still in the cases or in the fire flash hole or something like that. We then have size them, trim them, deburr and chamfer, primer pocket. You obviously only do the primer pocket and the flash hole once, probably at the with new brass. After I've done all the sizing, deburring, chamfering, things like that, I then run them through the tumbler again to give them a quick wash, get rid of all the lube or any loose bits of brass that's sort of worked their way into the case, something like that.
Yeah.
Rinse them off, let it all dry out for a good couple of days. I've got a, what do you call them? A dryer thing that you put in like beef, like to make jerky. What do you call them?
Dehydrator?
Dehydrator.
Something like that? Yep.
So I run one of them, which works really well. If you haven't got one, definitely grab one. Mine was only, I think, like $30 from one of those home department shops, and it's definitely worth it. So make sure they're completely dry and then prime them from there, and then currently reloading at the moment. So that's it.
Okay, right. Nice. Do you know how far off the lands you seat your bullets? Is a question that came in.
At the moment, it's a fair bit off. It's about 2 or 3 mil because my obviously my barrel's pretty long. But I'm restricted with mag length. So at the moment, I've got my brass sitting at 58.5 to the O drive in mils. Yeah, 58.5 mil. And that's just, I'm restricted with the mag length there.
Yeah, it's often the problem with this sort of stuff, isn't it? It's really the magazines that are as far out that you can set your bullet. So, very good, mate. Well, I think we're about done for this evening. Thank you sorry for the late start, everyone, or the restart. But anyway, here we are. So Andy, we will no doubt we will see you at some point again. Now plug your socials because we want people no doubt when you get back into it you'll be pumping photos and videos up on them. So how do we find you?
Oh yeah, all right. So Instagram, I'm pretty sure is a little PRS or Andy Little PRS.
I like that you don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Andy Little PRS because I did tag you in tonight.
Yeah. And then I know my Facebook one is a little precision rifle.
You are all over this. I love it. Yes, Andy Little PRS on Instagram and a little precision rifle. Very good play on words. I love it. Excellent.
Thanks for the save. Yeah.
Good. Someone's got it. All right, fantastic, guys, and if this has gone on the podcast, thanks for listening as well, and thanks for watching. And guys, we will no doubt be back tomorrow night. Joining me tomorrow night, it's Friday night, so it's a big one. Jay Orange and Birchie are joining us for a discussion about the mountain challenge. I still haven't. It's a match in New Zealand, so that's
they're up in the hills. Yeah.
It's a big match in New Zealand, Mountain Challenge, and they will be taking us through all of that, which is going to be huge. If you know those boys, you'll be excited already. If you don't know those guys, they really know what they're talking about. And Birchie is the tripod king, and Jay runs training for everyone. So these guys are definitely worth checking in, and we're going to try and work out how we can put 3 faces on this screen. So that's my job tomorrow, to make that all work, hopefully, and we'll be back then. So cheers, Andy, thanks for joining us tonight, and
No worries, thank you.
we'll catch you soon. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining us again. We're 4 nights in a row now. This is getting serious. Tomorrow night, very excited about the show. It is going to be really, really good. Big thanks to Projectile Warehouse again, as I mentioned. ID Live number 5. ID 5 is the code on there, and you can use that for 5% off. And more stock coming in there, and a new website for Projectile Warehouse that has been chewing up all of today and probably the next week or so for me. So that's keeping me busy. That's what I'm doing, and I hope you guys are having fun doing whatever you're doing. Tell us, make sure, actually in the next couple of days, grab that gun out, get in an awkward, unusual position, a position you didn't want to see at a match ever really, but the Burris Cold's still open, trying to give Ben Jarrett ideas for his next match, and we shall catch up with you next time. Stay safe.
Hey, pretty baby, Get down.